going on, guys? Welcome to another video on my channel, Hairliciously. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe so you guys are updated on hair loss and hair transplant topics, as well as updates on current hair loss treatments in the pipeline. Visit my website at hairliciously.com to purchase a microneedling device, which is scientifically proven to stimulate hair growth, my low-level laser therapy cap, DHT blocking shampoo, and Pyrolutamide, and a few other products to help those who are losing hair. So I am finally back on YouTube. I've been on a pretty long hiatus for the past couple months, and I just apologize for not being able to upload any content. I've been very busy with work. If you guys didn't know, I work for the feds full-time. I recently switched over to a new agency, and then taking care of my newborn daughter who was born in October. There were also some family health issues going on, and honestly I was just kind of burnt out from just talking about hair loss, hair loss content the whole time. So I just kind of wanted to take some time off and just really give myself some time away from YouTube and just spending time with family and just relaxing. But I'm finally back again on YouTube and ready to give my viewers some long overdue updates in the hair loss community. And I'm pretty sure that you guys probably have already heard about the huge update on one of my most favorite and promising hair loss companies, through some of the other YouTubers. But Kintor Pharmaceuticals in China, I wanted to let you guys know that they have finally announced completion of their phase 1 clinical trial regarding GT20029. This is a pretty big deal because GT is the world's first PROTAC compound for topical use in the treatment of androgen alopecia by degrading the androgen receptor. In a nutshell, GT20029 is what's known as Kintor's proprietary proteolysis targeting chimera technology, aka PROTAC. And these are basically going to be protein degraders, the androgen receptors to be precise, which utilize the cell's own waste disposal machinery to eliminate instead of inhibiting a target protein in the body like finasteride or dutasteride. Now, according to Kintor's preclinical trials, they found out that by degrading the androgen receptor protein, GT could block the shrinkage or miniaturization of hair follicles, which was caused by the androgen receptor signaling pathway. And as a result, it prevented the hairs from thinning, softening, or falling out. And GT20029 could also effectively inhibit sebaceous gland development and sebum production. Therefore, this could also potentially be a drug that can, treat things like acne. GT also has a topical curative effect and can avoid systemic exposure by limiting skin penetration, achieving a good safety profile. Their phase 1 clinical trial, which consisted of nearly 100 subjects, was a randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled parallel group study that showed that a single topical administration was safe and well tolerated with limited systemic exposure. It also proved that exposure was going to be much lower than KX826, also known as Pyrolutamide. And as you guys know, I've been incorporating 0.5% topical solution of Pyrolutamide twice a day into my hair loss treatment regimen. It's actually one of the most powerful anti-androgens that is out there that we know of. Phase 1 and phase 2 clinical trials were extremely promising and efficacious, and it was also well tolerated, and safety profile was good. In terms of hair regrowth, it was easily comparable to past studies of oral finasteride, and phase 3 clinical trials currently ongoing in China should be out in the next few months. And the best thing about Pyrolutamide is that it has one of the highest binding affinities to the androgen receptor, outcompeting anti-androgens like RU584, Pyrilutamide, flutamide, spironolactone, clascoterone. And comparing Pyrolutamide to GT20029 is like comparing apples with oranges, because they work in different mechanisms of action. Pyrolutamide prevents androgens like DHT and testosterone from binding to the androgen receptors in the hair follicles by blocking the androgen receptors pathway. You won't have any sexual side effects that some people experience from taking 5-AR inhibitors like finasteride or dutasteride, which is obviously going to alter your hormonal profile. GT20029, on the other hand, blocks the AR pathway by degrading the AR protein. So with anything, the best results would come from a synergistic effect of both treatments paired up with a growth stimulant like Minoxidil, and then even throwing in a 5-AR inhibitor. I think one of the main things that people are worried about when it comes to GT20029 and just protein degraders in general is that there is always a possibility that, because topicals all go systemic to some degree, and even with GT, that this could potentially degrade androgen receptors in other parts of the body from long-term exposure. But there's nothing from phase 1 clinical trial that discusses this possibility. but we should have a better understanding once this drug progresses into phase 2 and phase 3 clinical trials. And because androgen receptors can still regrow back, you will still have to continue to take this drug long term. It's not going to be a cure to hair loss. But with that said, the good news also is that a single dose administration of GT had no significant detectable drug concentrations, that it was under 0.001 nanograms per milliliter. And when multiple dose topical administrations were given, the mean maximum drug concentration of all cohorts were lower than 0.05 nanograms per milliliter. So this means that, an extremely small amount, nearly undetectable amount, was found going systemic, which shows that it was relatively safe to use. There's obviously going to be more studies that would need to be determined to find out the most optimal dosage and to reaffirm its safety and efficacy through phase 2 and phase 3 clinical trials, as well as its potential in regrowing back hair. But with all that said, I'm really looking forward to more updates on GT from Kintor. I think it's a huge step forward in the battle against androgenetic alopecia. Hopefully with something that will be more effective and more efficient than current mainstream treatment without the associated side effects. Anyway, that wraps up this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the content. Let me know what your thoughts are on Kintor's GT20029. I will keep you guys updated as soon as I receive more information over the next few months. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Motion Clinic. They will be offering another hair transplant promotion, and they've been doing so at least once a year. I'll be covering this in a separate video tomorrow, but if you guys are contemplating on getting a hair transplant, Motion Clinic is a highly recommended clinic, and I also got 2 hair transplants done there with extremely good results. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to reach out to me via email, hairliciously@gmail.com. And until then, I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.